Child abuse is a problem both around the world and right here in the two Virginias. However, there are people who fight for the victims of child abuse every day, and some of those child advocates here in Mercer County have gained national recognition from the federal government for the work they do. Our Clayton McChesney shares that story.
When a minor was facing abuse at the hands of a child predator, multiple individuals and organizations stepped up to protect the victim and bring her justice. But for these heroes, it's just a day in the life of doing the important work of child advocacy.
Anything done for a child is an investment in the future. And many of you may know our incidence of child abuse in Mercer County is very high. So to have these services available to wrap around and surround the child with support, the importance cannot be overstated. But
now, Lieutenant S.A. Summers from the Mercer County Sheriff's Office, members of the Mercer County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, the West Virginia DHHR, the Child Advocacy Center, Child Protect, and local attorney Michael McGann are in the national spotlight for their work on this case. They received the Excellence in Victim Advocacy and Justice Award from the U.S. Attorney's Office to recognize their outstanding performance resolving the case. One of those who worked as a prosecutor on the case credits everyone recognized for their ability to work together to help the young victim.
Every one of our cases, every one of these people works so hard in doing everything they can to help victims, and I think this just gives them validation for as hard as everybody works, because the system couldn't work without any one of these people, and this is just an outstanding case where everyone worked so well together to help the victim.
One member of the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office who worked directly with the victim says she's grateful for the recognition, but doesn't do this for an award.
Obviously, we don't go into this expecting any kind of special thanks or anything like that, but it is really nice that the federal government and the U.S. Attorney's Office recognize us with this. It really does mean a lot. It's nice to have something to look at to remind us of the work that we all did together to try to help out children in Mercer County.
Everyone we spoke to gives thanks to all individuals involved in resolving the case. Here for you in Princeton, I'm Clayton McChesney, WVVA News.
Thank you for that report, Clayton. And Hersman says that the community involvement is of the utmost importance when it comes to child advocacy, and she's encouraging people to consider donating to show their support.